When I was hospitalized with gastritis, Robin picked up a phone call and immediately stood up. John has a fever. I'll go check on him. I'll be right back. Before I could say anything, she rushed out. She didn't come back the entire night. That night, I saw a short video John posted, "With you by my side. I'm not afraid of any illness." I left a comment. Yeah, she really is good at taking care of people. Chapter 1. I put down my phone, and Robin quickly called me. "Michael, it's not what you think. He's all alone and pitiful. I just stayed with him for a while. I know. You're friends. It's only right that you take care of him." After saying that, I hung up. I lay in the hospital bed, unable to sleep the whole night. Robin and I had been together for 3 years. For those 3 years, I had always been the one chasing after her. John was her childhood friend. In Robin's words, if there had ever been anything between them, they would have gotten together long ago. How would it have been my turn? But what I couldn't understand was this: a relationship is supposed to be between 2 people. How can 3 people be in one? After thinking about it for a long time, I let out a sigh. I pulled out an invitation from my email, organized my thoughts, and replied. At the same time, I called my manager and told him I agreed to go abroad. "Really, Michael, you're not messing with me, right? You refused before. Have you finally figured it out?" "Yes, I have. It'll be good to get some experience at the overseas branch." "Great, get ready. You'll leave in a month." After hanging up, I took a deep breath. Finally, it was going to end. As expected, Robin didn't come back that night, and this time, I didn't care anymore. Early the next morning, she returned, still wearing last night's clothes, but now there was a faint sweet scent of roses on her. Since when could you take a shower in a hospital? Besides, we didn't even use that kind of body wash at home. Maybe out of guilt, Robin took the initiative to apologize. "I'm sorry. John suddenly had a headache last night, so I had to stay with him. I accidentally fell asleep." "Don't be upset. It's fine. Taking care of a sick person is exhausting." My response clearly caught her off guard. She hadn't expected me to be this calm. "Well, breakfast. Eat it while it's hot." She opened the container. Inside was a bowl of yam porridge, with some pickled vegetables on the side, obviously leftovers. I shook my head. "I won't eat it. Thanks. It's yam porridge. Not spicy. I bought it specially for you. Just take a bite." Robin even picked up a spoon, trying to feed me, but I still refused. She immediately got angry. "Michael, are you doing this on purpose? I kindly brought you breakfast, and now you're acting all high and mighty." Seeing her slam the table, I sighed. "I'm allergic to yams." Her face instantly turned pale. She stepped back awkwardly. I'm sorry, I forgot. What do you want to eat? I'll go buy it." "No need. I've already ordered takeout. It should be here soon." As soon as I finished speaking, the delivery arrived. I took the breakfast and sat on the bed, eating it bite by bite. My stomach gradually felt much better. Robin kept watching me. I raised an eyebrow. "What's wrong? I feel like you've changed. Why aren't you angry?" "Angry about what? You already apologized, and it wasn't intentional." She couldn't say anything. She just stared at me blankly, and after a long while, finally closed her mouth. At that moment, John called. "Robin, I still don't feel well. Can you come keep me company?" "Okay, I'll be right there." After hanging up, she glanced at me, hesitating. "He's alone. I'll go check on him and come right back." "That's what you said last night, and you didn't come back at all." "I was alone too." I looked straight at her. "Robin, you're my girlfriend. Can you choose me?" Firmly. "Just once." She was about to speak when her phone rang again. This time, John's voice sounded even weaker. "Robin, the doctor said I might have pneumonia. What should I do?" "Don't panic. I'm coming right now." She frowned at me. "You can still order takeout yourself, so you should be fine. Next time, I'll definitely stay with you." Without looking back, she left. I clenched my fists. There won't be a next time. I'll never place my hopes on you again. Chapter 2. After staying in the hospital for a week, I was discharged. On the day I left, Robin was there with John, helping him go through his discharge procedures as well. I had never seen Robin so gentle before. She carefully supported John, his tall frame leaning against her. Anyone who didn't know better might think he was paralyzed. It was just a cold and a fever. After a week in the hospital, he came out looking perfectly healthy, rosy lips, white teeth, yet he still acted like he was seriously ill. I curled my lips into a faint, sarcastic smile and turned to hail a taxi home. The manager had already sent me information about the overseas branch, and I began preparing for my move abroad. I started packing my luggage. I was halfway through when Robin came back. Behind her was another woman, her childhood friend, Oriana. The moment she saw me, Oriana rolled her eyes and said to Robin, "Didn't you say he was still in the hospital? Why is he back already?" Oriana was a hardcore shipper of John and Robin, constantly trying to push them together. Ever since I started dating Robin, Oriana had never said a single nice thing to me. I didn't care. Clearly, Robin had completely forgotten that today was the day I was discharged. When she saw me, she froze for a moment, then quickly reacted. "You're discharged? Why didn't you tell me?" She sounded a little nervous. I replied calmly, "You looked busy, so I didn't want to bother you. Besides, I'm fine." As soon as I finished speaking, Oriana scoffed. "See, he's totally fine. He doesn't need you at all. And you were worried about him. Even asked me to come help you cook." Robin's face turned pale and flushed by turns. I nodded at them, then turned and went back into the room to continue packing. When she saw the trash can overflowing, Robin frowned. Then she suddenly noticed the ceramic dolls we had made together. She froze, then rushed into the room. "Michael, what do you mean by this? Why did you throw away our ceramic dolls?" "I accidentally broke them, so I just threw them away." "Didn't you say they weren't anything special anyway?" My words clearly shook her. We had bought those ceramic dolls when we first got together, during a trip. I had loved them so much that I even asked the shop owner to customize them based on Robin and me. I couldn't put them down. After we got home, I placed them in the most visible spot. Robin had laughed at me for it, saying I was obsessed, that they were just dolls. Nothing special. I didn't argue back. I just felt that the dolls looked a lot like me, and now that I had thrown them into the trash, it meant I was cutting ties with the past. Hearing this, Robin was left speechless. Oriana, however, grabbed her arm and pulled her away. Come on, ignore him. What kind of person is he? He's just playing hard to get. Didn't you say John lost a lot of weight from pneumonia? We should think about what to cook for him." She dragged Robin into the kitchen, where the two of them started whispering to each other. I wasn't even that angry. After all, she had never liked me to begin with. Why should I go out of my way to make myself uncomfortable? I simply finished packing my things, then took the printed documents into the study and started reviewing them. The overseas branch covered a wide range of business, far more complex than what I dealt with domestically. I needed to understand as much as possible before leaving, so I could handle things smoothly later. Just as I was concentrating, Robin walked in. "Michael, is there anything you especially want to eat? What's all this?" When she saw me buried in a pile of documents, she froze. "Did you change jobs?" Chapter 3. Sort of. "There's a new opportunity. I want to give it a try. Do you need something?" She snapped back to her senses. "I wanted to ask what you'd like to eat." "Anything. You guys go ahead. I've already ordered takeout." "You." She was instantly irritated, then softened her tone. "Michael, are you hiding something from me? I feel like you've changed." "Have I? I don't think so. Isn't this the kind of dynamic you've always liked?" Back when we used to argue about John, she would always say, "I'm free. I don't need you telling me what to do." Now that I had given her that freedom, she couldn't get used to it, and instead said that I had changed. Robin was about to say something when Oriana's voice came from the kitchen. "Robin, how do you handle squid? Come here." Robin had no choice but to turn and leave. I found it a bit laughable. Then I picked up my cup and walked out to get some water. That's when I heard Robin's voice. "I just feel like something's off with him. It's like he wants to leave me." "Leaving would be great," Oriana replied immediately. "Didn't you say he's nothing compared to John? This is the perfect chance to dump him. John is handsome and gentle. I seriously don't understand why you insisted on being with Michael. That guy has no parents. If you get married, you won't even have any family support. Unlike John, his family background is amazing." I couldn't help frowning. It was true. When I was in college, my parents died in a car accident. Since then, I had been on my own. My relatives were all after the compensation money, so I cut ties with every single one of them. So after I met Robin, I treated her as my only family. I even tried my best to get along with her friends, but they never accepted me. Before, I would rack my brain trying to fit into their circle. Now that I had decided to end things, what did they matter anymore? Robin's sigh drifted over. I did want to be with him, but back then John's parents didn't approve. My parents also said that even though his family is good, the gap between us is too big. Our family's background isn't even worth mentioning compared to his. So I settled for the next best option, Michael. He has no parents, so there won't be any in-law conflicts. So that's what you really think, huh? After saying that, Oriana glanced at me behind her and winked, as if to say, "You heard that. She doesn't like you at all. Know your place and leave early." I smiled faintly, walked in with my cup, and poured myself some water. Robin was so startled that she screamed and dropped a bowl, shattering it on the floor. When did you come in?" "Just now. I was thirsty." She looked flustered and was about to explain, but I spoke first. "Actually, you're not wrong. Being in a relationship does mean considering all aspects. My advantage is that there won't be any in-law conflicts. My family situation is simple." I spoke plainly, and that only made her more anxious. "And no, that's not what I meant, Michael. I didn't mean it like that. There's no possibility between me and John anymore." Before she could finish, Oriana pulled her aside. "Why are you explaining yourself to him? It's the truth." John's conditions are obviously better than his. You two were practically going to be together. If it weren't for your parents' objection, he wouldn't even have had a chance. Shut up. Robin snapped, yelling at Oriana. This is between us. You don't get to interfere. Oriana, furious, shoved past me. I don't care about your mess anyway. She slammed the door as she left, leaving just the two of us in the room. Looking at Robin's awkward expression, I let out a bitter smile. Robin, let's break up. Chapter 4. Robin immediately shook her head. No, don't break up. She was just joking. There's no possibility between me and John. My heart only has you. And stop saying those things. I don't like hearing them. After saying that, she turned her back to me and said in a low voice, I'm going to cook. Please go out. I knew she didn't dare face it, so I sighed and walked out. No matter what I did, in Robin's eyes, I would always just be the second best choice. She never truly loved me that much. It was just that, under the current circumstances, I happened to be her most practical option. People tend to seek benefits and avoid harm. I didn't blame her. Robin stayed busy inside for quite a while. By the time she came out, I had already made plans to go out and meet someone. At that moment, the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, John stood there holding a bouquet of roses. I knew you'd be home. Thanks for taking care of me while I was hospitalized. I came to see you and also brought some soup I made. He showed what he was holding. Robin looked delighted, but the moment his gaze passed over me, it turned provocative. I took a deep breath and forced a smile. You two chat. I'm heading out to eat. Don't join us. John enthusiastically invited me. Let's eat together. I made plenty. No need. I already made plans to meet a friend. You guys enjoy. With that, I left. I really did have plans. I was going to report to the company today and also treat my manager to a meal. At the same time, I wanted to ask more about the overseas branch. Robin called out behind me. Michael. I ignored her. I had more important things to do now. I didn't have the time or energy to keep up polite appearances with them. She stomped her foot in frustration. John then said in a low voice, looks like I came at the wrong time. Fine. I'll leave. No need to make things awkward for him. Don't. Robin grabbed him. If he wants to leave, let him. I stood outside waiting for the elevator. Hearing their laughter from inside, my heart was completely calm. If this had been before, I would have been furious. But now, not a single ripple stirred inside me. It seemed that I had truly let go. When I arrived at the meeting place, my manager smiled at me. Not bad. You've recovered well. I'm relieved you're back. How are your preparations going? Almost done. How long will I be abroad? A 5-year contract. After 5 years, you'll come back and be promoted directly to regional director. That position is yours. As for salary, don't worry, it's more than triple what you're making now. When you return, an annual salary in the millions won't be a problem. Salary had always been my motivation to stay at this company. When I first joined, the boss said clearly, this company values ability. As long as your ability improves, even his position could be yours. Before, I didn't go because I couldn't let go of Robin. Now, things were different. With everything behind me, I naturally had to think for myself. During the meal, Robin kept calling me. I didn't answer. I simply silenced my phone. Then she started texting me. Michael, what exactly do you mean? John kindly brought soup, and you just walked out on him with that attitude. Do you have any idea how embarrassed I was in front of him? I ignored her. I spent the entire afternoon talking with my manager and didn't return until evening. When I walked in, the apartment was pitch black. After turning on the lights, I saw broken glass scattered across the floor. She must have been really upset. I didn't say anything. I just called a moving service, had all my luggage taken away, and gave the room one last look. Goodbye, Robin. I blocked her number completely, then headed to the company dormitory. The next time I came back might be 5 years later. There was no need to keep renting this place anymore. Chapter 5. Late at night, around 11 p.m., I saw a post from John, grateful to have you in my life. In the video, Robin and he were holding each other, singing a love song with deep affection. I gave it a like, then casually blocked him as well. The next day at work, my manager announced that I would be heading to the overseas branch. A few colleagues I was close with started cheering and urging me to treat them to a celebratory dinner. I got along well with them, so I happily agreed. That evening, we chose a pretty nice restaurant. The moment I walked in, I saw Oriana and her group. Robin and John were standing there, fingers tightly intertwined. When she saw me, Robin quickly let go of his hand. Why are you here? Oriana rolled her eyes. Obviously because he heard you were here and followed you. Michael, can you not be so disgusting? You act like you don't care, but then you come here to stalk people. Classic two-faced behavior. I laughed. Who said I was following you? Do you have a persecution complex? Last I checked, this restaurant doesn't belong to you. And as for you looking down on me, I get it. When you can't have what you want, all you can do is lash out. What did you just say? Aren't you secretly in love with John? Since we had already broken up, There was no reason to be polite to her friend anymore. I might as well say it out loud. She froze immediately. Why you? What nonsense are you talking about? I rolled my eyes. Whether it's nonsense or not, you know it yourself. And by the way, I'm not here to cause trouble, I'm here to eat. Right then, my colleagues arrived. Seeing me standing at the entrance, they called out, Michael, what are you doing here? Friends of yours? I shook my head. Not really. At that, Robin's face turned green, and my colleagues came over. Michael, when are you heading abroad? Once you leave, when will we see you again? We chatted as we walked inside. Robin suddenly rushed over. Michael, you're going abroad? Since when? Didn't you say you were just changing jobs? Why are you going overseas? She grabbed my arm tightly. John followed behind her. Robin, calm down, he said. Looks like you're not part of his plans at all, that's why he never told you. Hearing his deliberate attempt to stir things up, I nodded. That's right, you're not part of my plans. We've already broken up, haven't we? My colleagues behind me widened their eyes, then suddenly realized. She's your ex-girlfriend, the one who was being all lovey-dovey with another guy while you were hospitalized with gastritis. How do you know? I was a bit surprised. One of them waved his phone. We saw it online ages ago. I saw your girlfriend at the company once before, but later I saw her in this guy's TikTok. The comments were all saying how sweet they looked. Turns out she knowingly got involved with someone else while still in a relationship. Having one person but thinking about another. Michael already broke up with you. So why are you still clinging on? TCH. She must have seen that Michael's about to make it big and now wants to latch onto him again. Get lost. You're not good enough for him. Before I could even speak, my colleagues had already spoken up for me. Robin's face flushed red with anger. She shouted in my direction. Michael, you did this on purpose. You let your colleagues humiliate me. What's the point of this? My colleagues burst out laughing. Humiliate you? You've got it wrong. You're not even worth that. Hurry up and leave. Stop getting in the way. Hey, what's going on here? We came to eat. Why should we have to deal with her attitude? Chapter 6. The waiter quickly came over and asked Robin and the others to leave. Robin borrowed someone else's phone to call me. I hung up immediately. She refused to give up. Switching through 3 or 4 different numbers, I couldn't take it anymore, and I didn't want her to ruin the atmosphere. So I finally answered. On the other end came her pleading, humble voice. Michael, can you not leave, please? I have something to tell you. I'm begging you. I took a deep breath, greeted my colleagues, and stepped in the hallway. The moment Robin saw me, she rushed over and hugged me. Don't go. Okay, I don't want to break up, please. I shook my head. Robin, the issues between us have already been made very clear. If I break up with you, I won't change my mind. Her expression turned unpleasant. Yes, I admit I was wrong in the hospital. But I sincerely regret it. I apologized and admitted my mistake. Did you? Apologizing and admitting your mistake, so you turned around and slept with him. Hearing that, her face instantly turned pale. Don't say anything else. I have the evidence. I even have more disgusting videos and photos. Just go. I turned to leave, but she immediately grabbed my arm. Please, give me one more chance. At that moment, John appeared. Seeing Robin begging so desperately, he immediately walked over and pulled her back. He's just taking you for granted. Ignore him for a couple of days and see how he reacts. Robin tried to say something more but was held back by John. She became furious. Let go of me. Let go. Michael, if you really go abroad, I'll never forgive you. I walked straight into the private room and shut the door. Love might betray me, but my career wouldn't. Besides, I had already made a choice once before. Was I supposed to give everything up again now? Robin didn't come looking for me again, and I was glad for the peace. During that month, I often wondered, if I had never been with her, would my life have turned out completely different? Half a month later, I went to the hospital for medication and a follow-up check. Everything was fine. As long as I took my medicine on time and took care of myself after going abroad, it wouldn't relapse. A month later, I successfully completed all the procedures and boarded the plane overseas. But at the airport, I saw Robin. She had actually chased after me. Not only that, she was dragging a large suitcase behind her. John stood with a dark expression. You've really decided to go with her? What's so good about this guy? For once, she didn't hold back. She snapped at John. Don't pretend to care. Can you marry me? You gave up back then, so what right do you have to be with me now? John was left speechless. Not far away, I heard everything. I smiled faintly, shook my head, and walked away without hesitation. Soon after, Robin caught up and sat down beside me. Michael, don't even think about leaving me behind. Wherever you go, I'll go. I ignored her. We were already broken up. If she wanted to follow me, that was her choice. I was going there to work, not to be in a relationship. Seeing that I didn't respond, Robin assumed I had tacitly agreed, and she felt secretly delighted. After more than 10 hours of flying, Everyone was exhausted, including me. Thankfully, someone from the overseas branch came to pick me up, but when he saw Robin with me, he froze. Manager Michael, this is. Robin immediately pinched my hand and said, I'm his girlfriend. Chapter 7. We've already broken up. Stop harassing me. Otherwise, I'll call the police right here. You won't like the consequences. Buy a ticket and go back. I'm here to work, not to get tangled up in a relationship with you. Robin, this is the last time I'm making this clear. When you're in a foreign country, don't overestimate yourself. If you keep acting up, be careful. I wasn't threatening her, but Robin didn't believe me and kept trying to cling on. The staff from the branch office weren't pushovers either. They even had bodyguards, who immediately dragged her aside and prevented her from coming near me again. Robin screamed and collapsed on the ground, crying uncontrollably. I turned around and got into the car without a second thought. After that, I often received calls from unknown numbers. She stayed abroad, still hoping I would change my mind, but I never went to see her. About 3 months later, Robin finally couldn't hold on anymore. The bodyguards told me that a man had come to pick her up, and they even showed me a photo. I recognized him. It was John. It seemed the two of them were still together. That put my mind completely at ease. As long as they stayed tied to each other, that was perfect. Just don't come bother me again. Without Robin around, my life became quite fulfilling. The business at the overseas branch was even more complex than I had imagined. But thanks to my prior preparations, it wasn't too difficult. After half a year, I gradually settled in and got used to life there. 5 years wasn't too long, but it was enough for me to build something solid. From time to time, colleagues back home would send me updates about Robin. Even Oriana somehow got my number and regularly forwarded me news about the two of them. In the end, John and Robin got married, because Robin became pregnant. When their families met, things turned unpleasant. Both sides exchanged harsh words and nearly got into a fight. Oriana still strongly supported them. Michael, honestly, you're not a bad person, but you were never good enough for Robin. Now they've finally overcome everything to be together. The couple I shipped finally became real. Looking at the messages she sent, I could only think she was out of her mind. She had a crush on John, yet she was happy to push her best friend toward him. Her way of thinking was impossible to understand. Before the wedding, Robin sent me a long message, thousands of words, basically saying how helpless she felt being with John. She claimed she still had feelings for me and couldn't bear to let me go, that if I said the word, she would call off the wedding without hesitation. When I read that part, I almost laughed out loud. I took a screenshot and sent it directly to John through TikTok. Apparently, for some reason, John and Robin had a huge argument before the wedding. Robin got so angry she ran away from home, but in the end, he still brought her back. Since the invitations had already been sent out, the wedding had to go on. When I heard the news, I smiled. It seemed their relationship wasn't as unbreakable as it appeared. Just a little provocation was enough to make them fight. Life after that probably wouldn't be smooth either. Soon, I didn't have time to care about them anymore. The company kept me too busy. After that, I stopped receiving any updates. I even blocked Oriana as well. 5 years later, I returned. My former manager had already been promoted, and I, too, had taken on the position of regional director. On my first day back, my colleagues organized a welcome dinner for me. As I arrived at the hotel, a voice full of disbelief called out from behind me, Michael. I turned around, and it was Oriana. I hadn't expected to see her on my very first day back. Among Robin's group of friends back then, Oriana had been the one who looked down on me the most, always mocking and belittling me. And now, seeing me again, I stood before her with my hands in my pockets, carrying myself with the confidence of someone in a higher position. I gave a slight nod, and was about to leave. Chapter 8. Oriana rushed forward and blocked my way. Michael, now that you're back, pretending not to know me isn't very nice, is it? Let's have a meal together. She tilted her head, thinking she looked cute. I looked at her and smiled. Oriana, we're not close enough to sit at the same table and eat. Sorry. I nodded at her and walked away. Behind me, Oriana started cursing loudly. What's so great about you? Just because you made money, you think you're better than everyone. I shrugged and said nothing. There was no point getting angry at someone like her. After dinner, I returned to the hotel. I had just come back today and handled the company handover, so I hadn't had time to buy a place yet. The company had arranged housing for me, but I still needed to purchase some things, so I stayed at a hotel for the time being. Unexpectedly, in the middle of the night, a piercing doorbell rang. When I opened the door, I found Robin standing there. 5 years apart had changed her completely. Her face was haggard, her figure thin. She was nothing like the confident woman she used to be. The moment she saw me, she tried to rush into my arms. I quickly raised my hand to stop her. Say what you need to say. If not, I'm calling the police. No, please don't call the police. You're back. Why didn't you contact me? I suddenly found it amusing. Miss, We broke up 5 years ago. You're already married. Why would I contact you? My words clearly hurt her. She staggered back a couple of steps, clutching her chest. I'm married. Does that mean we can't even be friends? I shook my head. I have a strong sense of boundaries. Keeping distance from married people is the bare minimum. I also don't want my girlfriend to get jealous. What did you say? Girlfriend? She stared at me in disbelief. How can you have a girlfriend? I almost laughed. Why wouldn't I? Isn't that normal? Did you think I'd stay single and devoted to you forever? Robin, you really think too highly of yourself. Do you have anything else to say? If not, please leave. I had no idea how she found out my room number. It seemed I couldn't stay at this hotel anymore. I was about to close the door when Robin pushed past me and barged in. Seeing how shameless she was acting, I took out my phone and stood by the door. Seeing my guarded posture, she gave a bitter smile. Are you really that afraid of me? I shrugged. Can't help it. Say what you need to say. I regret it. I regret marrying John. I thought being with him was because our parents opposed us. After breaking up with him, I met you. Everyone said you weren't good enough for me, and I let their words get to my head. But after being with you, I got used to your care. Got used to you depending on me. After you left, I realized I truly loved you. Robin cried miserably, looking up at me. During those 3 months abroad, I couldn't survive at all. I hated you. Why did you abandon me? When John took me away, he was like a hero descending from the sky. I watched her cry until she could barely speak and felt nothing but a headache coming on. I had just endured over 10 hours of flying and hadn't even adjusted to the time difference yet, and now I had to listen to her complaints. I was reaching my limit. I picked up the phone and called the front desk. What's going on with your hotel? You leaked my room number and let some crazy woman come here to harass me. Please call the police. Robin was still immersed in her own emotional confession. When she heard me, her face turned pale. What did you say? Crazy woman. Can't you understand plain language? I've already called the police. If you don't leave now, you'll be trending online in no time. Chapter 9. Robin completely broke down. You're treating me like I'm crazy. Michael, what am I to you? You don't care about our past at all. I found it ridiculous and replied with sarcasm. You're just my ex, an ex I broke up with 5 years ago. A good ex should be like they're dead, especially an ex who's already married. Robin, stop making a fool of yourself. Any lingering nostalgia vanished at that moment. I was already being polite. What I really meant was for her to stop dragging me into her mess. Otherwise, people might think I was the one seducing her, showing up at a man's hotel room late at night, pouring her heart out. What was that supposed to be? No. Not pouring her heart out. It was one-sided harassment. I was genuinely fed up. Robin couldn't accept it and was about to make a scene. But hotel staff arrived with the police. I explained everything, and even the police looked bewildered. They took her away immediately. Before leaving, she gave me a resentful look. Michael, you'll regret this. I shrugged it off. Regret? I wouldn't. Lying in bed, I finally let out a sigh of relief. While chatting with former colleagues, I learned that Robin and John's life together had become a complete mess. 5 years had stripped away all illusions between them. The once perfect love had turned into nothing more than resentment. They argued every day, about money, about in-law conflicts. Only then did Robin realize that John wasn't a good partner at all. He was a total mama's boy, always listening to his mother. And from the beginning, Robin had never been liked by his family. After marriage, she lost the child, and her mother-in-law treated her even worse. John chose to remain silent between them, which deeply disappointed Robin. One colleague reminded me, Michael, don't fall for her tricks. 5 years ago, after you left, she even came to our company building and held up a banner. She accused you of playing with her feelings and abandoning her. The boss was furious. After finding out you had already broken up, he called the police to drive her away. That woman's not mentally stable anymore. I hadn't expected that at all. A chill ran down my spine. Thankfully, I had called the police today. Otherwise, who knew what might have happened? After thinking about it, I sent all the recorded videos to John, telling him to manage his wife. I had expected them to argue, but I never imagined it would escalate this badly. The next day, while I was at the company, the police came to see me. They asked if I knew Robin and John. I was stunned but said yes, they were my ex and her husband. I had just reported an incident involving them last night. After checking, the police told me, during a fight between Robin and John, both of them used knives. John had been stabbed to death. Robin herself was also seriously injured. She was now in the hospital and wanted to see me. Hearing this, I was deeply shocked, but I still went. Chapter 10. When I arrived at the hospital room, I saw Robin lying there, tubes inserted into her body, completely wrapped in bandages. On the way, the police had already told me her injuries were severe. The two of them had fought violently at home, even using a machete. She had been stabbed several times. Even if she recovered, she would be left disabled. When she saw me, Robin reached out, trying to hold my hand. I shook my head. Robin, I don't regret having loved you once, but I hope you never appear in my life again. My words may have sounded heartless, but they were the truth. Robin gave a bitter smile and slowly lowered her hand. Looking at me, she only said one thing. I'm sorry, Michael. I was too greedy. Human desire is like a snake trying to swallow an elephant. I lost the person who loved me the most. Can you forgive me? Seeing her weak state, I clenched my fist. It doesn't matter whether I forgive you or not. We've already been over for a long time. I understand. I was wrong. Completely wrong. She lay on the bed, crying uncontrollably. Soon, the doctor rushed in and told her to calm down. As for me, I nodded once and turned to leave. She didn't die. She was eventually saved. But because of John's death, she was still sentenced. However, since it was mutual assault and John had struck first, Robin's family hired a lawyer, and the case dragged on for 2 years. In the end, Robin was sentenced to 7 years. Her injuries were too severe. Even after being released, she had no ability to work. She couldn't even support herself and had to rely on her parents. When I got married, Robin's parents came as well, standing far away, wiping their tears. I didn't go over. I just had someone send them wedding candies. When my daughter started elementary school, Robin was released from prison. The next time I saw her was on the news. She was in a nursing home, being abused and mistreated by a nurse. It was discovered when her family came to visit her. The nurse involved was Oriana. When I saw that news, I couldn't help but sigh. Oriana had truly loved John in her own way. Even after his death, she hadn't forgotten him. She even switched jobs to that nursing home just to take revenge on Robin. I shook my head. After that, I never saw Robin again. The two of us drifted further and further apart, becoming parallel lines, never to cross again.